Alright, this is the Shadow Ranger, and I'm here to respond to MrLucidLJ and Dalyxman. They did a two-part response to my double standards video, and I already responded to part 1, so this is my response to part 2. Things that point out I want to mention now. When you guys talk about guys not being on TV enough, okay, here's the difference. TNA only has Impact. They can't really push storylines on Explosion because it doesn't air in every country. So they just do a few matches and recaps. They really only have 2 hours of Impact a week. That's all the TV they have. They simply do not have enough time to use everyone. There's always gonna be people off TV for a while on TNA until they can bring a second show and air on US television. There simply is not enough time to have everyone on television in TNA. If they try to, all you would end up in is bunches of 7, 8 battle royals and 8 and 10 man tags and stuff. They simply don't have enough TV time to use everybody. They could thin the roster out, but no matter who they fire, everyone would complain because every wrestler has fans and a fan base. I mean, the only guy I look at the TNA roster, I only see one guy that I think they could fire without anyone complaining, and that's Rob Terry. That's the only guy I think you can safely fire. Everybody else at that roster, if you fire them, someone's gonna complain. Like if I asked people, all right, cut 10 wrestlers from the TNA roster, everybody's going to have a different 10, and no one's going to agree. The 10 you pick, I guarantee you there's at least 3 of the people on your list that would piss a bunch of other people off if they got fired. So, WWE should be having lots of people on TV every week because they got 5 hours of TV time a week. I mean, between Raw and SmackDown and Superstars, I'm not counting NXT because that's on the internet now, but they got 5 hours of TV every week. Yeah, if TNA had 5 hours of TV every week, you see Amazing Red on TV and Daphne and everybody else. It's a big difference. You got 5 hours of TV, you should have lots of people on every week. Hell, there's still people that don't show up on WWE television a lot. Personality wise, a whole lot of people, like I was talking about, the guys are different. You mentioned tag teams. Well, yeah, they're a tag team. It's okay for Inc. to be alike. They're a tag team. It's okay for Jimmy to be alike. They're a tag team. Tag teams are supposed to be similar. But Scott Steiner and Rob Terry, they're not the same guy. They have very different personalities. Yeah, they're two big jacked up dudes, but I'm not talking about their look. I'm talking about their personality. All right. Think about like comparing John Cena to Randy Orton. It's very easy to tell personality-wise how John Cena is different from Randy Orton. Okay, but in WWE, so many of these guys are like, how is personality-wise? How is Jack Swagger different from Drew McIntyre? How is Drew McIntyre different from Alex Riley? How is Alex Riley different from Ted DiBiase Jr.? How is Ted Jr. different from Dolph Ziggler? They all the same dude. They're all the same young, cocky heel, and they all look like fucking frat boys. I mean, none of them stand out. The only two that stand out are Zack Ryder and The Miz. And The Miz, it really isn't that much different. He's just really good on a promo guy. And Dolph Ziggler was only over because he had Vicky Guerrero to get heat for you. Vicky gets heat. Vicky gets more heat than a hot summer day. I mean, if you can't get heat and get over with Vicky as your manager, then you need to be fired. That's why that guy Eric Escobar got fired so quick. He couldn't get heat with Vicky Guerrero by his side. You got to really suck if you can't get heat with Vicky. You take Vicky Guerrero away from Dolph Ziggler, and what is he? Just like the rest of this so-called youth movement. Except for The Miz, the rest of them are just good wrestlers who are boring. I mean, what is John Morrison's personality? I mean, he's a good wrestler, but everything about him is boring. I know that if I watch a WWE pay-per-view, I'm going to get a good match out of John Morrison, but I also know that I'm going to have to sit through 2 to 4 weeks of boredom to get to that match. I'm not turned off to WWE because of how they're treating Daniel Bryan. The point is, I actually not. It's not that. It's not the WWE that I'm saying is the double standard. It's the IWC that is the double standard that I'm talking about. Why is it the IWC complains about something TNA doing something, but they don't complain when WWE does it? Yes, you made points. You talked about the TV title and the Knockouts tag belts. Yes, those should be defended more. I agree, and yes, I agree that it's not good that they don't get defended. The point I'm making is people actually complain about those. Well, the IWC complains about the TV title not being defended. They complain about there not being enough Knockouts tag teams. Nobody, but I don't hear anybody talking about the fact that Daniel Bryan has a belt that nobody wants. No one else. I'm the only person saying it. Why is it that nobody else seems to ever mention this? Am I just different? Is everybody okay with the fact that Daniel Bryan has a belt that no one wants? Daniel Bryan had won the U.S. title at Night of Champions, which was in September. Since he has been champion, he has had 2 televised title defenses. He defended the belt in a triple threat match against The Miz and John Morrison at Hell in a Cell, and he defended the title against Ted DiBiase Jr. at Survivor Series. He hadn't had a title shot since, and I don't even hear anybody else talking about even wanting the belt. It's like he has a belt that no one cares about, and for some reason I hear 0 complaints about the IWC. That's the double standard. I'm not turned off the WWE. I mean, I find SmackDown to be kind of boring, but I do watch Raw every week. I'm just saying, like, a TNA belt goes 30 days without being defended, and everybody bitches. Daniel Bryan has defended his belt twice in September. So September, let's say October, November, December, January, February. 5 months as champion. Nobody complains. Also, what do you mean people not wanting the TNA World Title? They never shut up about the TNA World Title. What the hell are you talking about? The entire Genesis pay-per-view was built. The main event was a #1 contenders match. Matt Morgan won't shut up about wanting the TNA World Title. Anderson won't shut up about wanting the title. He always talking about, I worked 10 long years to get here. Jeff Hardy doesn't shut up about that belt. And now RVD's back in the hunt and he won't be quiet. And spoiler alert, when this Sting thing goes down, they don't shut up about the TNA World Title. I don't even know where you got that from. But the point is, you're actually complaining about the belts in TNA not getting defended. Nobody but me seems to talk about the fact that nobody wants the U.S. title. Also, for the record, RVD did not lose cleanly to Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy beat him with a low blow. Jeff Hardy got in Anderson's face to distract Anderson, and then and when Anderson wasn't looking, he low blowed. He kicked RVD in the nuts and hit him with the twist of hate. So no, he did not beat Rob Van Dam cleanly. Also, Mickie James. Mickie James talking about Mickie James losing credibility by losing to Madison. Mickie James doesn't need any more credibility. She was already credible coming in. Mickie James was made huge by the WWE. She was made as big as she will ever be. Nothing TNA could possibly do that's going to make Mickie James any bigger than she already was when she left the WWE. And I find this odd that you're complaining because Mickie James hasn't won. Isn't the one of the top complaints that everybody makes about TNA is that they always put the ex-WWE wrestler over their homegrown talent? Doesn't everybody else complain that the young guys in TNA, their homegrown talent, should be winning against the ex-WWE guys, winning decisively? Losing to Madison doesn't hurt Mickie James. Won't hurt Mickie James at all. But beating Mickie James elevates Madison Rayne a lot. What's going to do more damage? Mickie James losing to Madison Rayne or Madison Rayne losing to Mickie James? If Mickie James wins, it's just TNA putting the WWE guy over their guys even more. It's just TNA saying that, hey, WWE is better. Mickie James doesn't need the belt. Madison Rayne does. Mickie doesn't need to beat Madison. Madison needs to win. If Mickie James beats Madison, if you talking about Mickie should have got the belt already, if Mickie James had gotten the belt this soon. Let's see. Mickie James showed up in October, the Thursday before Bound for Glory. So that was October. So she's pretty much been there since 10/7 on that Impact, on the live Impact. So October 7th. So that would be December 7th, January 7th, and Against All Odds pay-per-view was what? January what? Not Against All Odds. Genesis was what, like January 16th, January 9th. But it would have been less than 3 months. If Mickie James won the Knockouts title in less than 3 months, everybody would have complained about her, about TNA jobbing out all their homegrown talents to the ex-WWE talent. Again, it doesn't hurt Mickie James to lose to Madison Rayne. It greatly helps Madison Rayne to beat Mickie James. Madison Rayne should win the feud. She should beat Mickie James. She should decisively beat Mickie James right in the middle. They should build up the fact. They should build up the fact of Madison can't beat Mickie without outside interference. Build up to lockdown. Put them in the cage where nobody can interfere. And Madison Rayne should decisively beat Mickie James right in the middle of the ring. That win will make could damn near make Madison. Now, is Madison a good wrestler? She's not that great, but she's an interesting character, and I like seeing her on TV. I mean, I'm not a big match guy. That's something you gotta understand about me. I don't care about 5-star matches. I want a good story. I'm more storyline driven, which is one of the reasons I like TNA so much. There's lots of different stories to follow. I am more of a storyline driven guy. I want a good story and a decent match. Madison doesn't put on bad matches. Her matches are decent. Her matches are okay. That's fine by me. Give me a good story with an okay match. And Madison is an interesting character. She has decent stories, and she puts on okay matches. I don't care if she doesn't put. I don't care about 5-star matches. I never have to see a 5-star match in my life. Give me 3 and a good story. Give me 2.5 and a great story. Alright, I'm good. That's what I'm looking for. I care more about the story than I do the match quality, okay? Just don't do something atrocious. Yeah, I think that's all I typed out to respond to in this video. Call me fanboy if you want to. You look, I don't consider myself a fanboy. I accentuate talk about more of the positives of TNA for 2 reasons. Number one, nothing I say is gonna make you like the product if you don't. All right, I'm not naive enough to think that I'm gonna make you a fan if they can't. I just feel like if you're gonna bash TNA, come up with more intelligent reasons. All right, my whole thing is I feel like the reasons people give for not liking TNA just don't seem to make a whole lot of sense. I'm only challenging you to come up with a more intelligent reason for hating them. If you give your reasons for disliking them, and then the reason you give doesn't make sense, I'm going to come out and dispute it. I have my issues with TNA as well. I made a video about it that's up right now that you can go and listen to. Also, the double standard thing just gets on my nerves. Like, man, it's like the same, because most of the people who bash TNA come out and talk about how great WWE is, and then I'm like, yeah, but the same stuff you complaining about WWE about TNA or the same thing in WWE. I'm like, why is it that it's only the IWC only seem to complain when TNA does it? It's like WWE just seems to get a pass so much. And I think part of that is because, you know, WWE's been around so long and most of us grew up watching WWE, so there's just a different feeling when it comes to WWE that we're willing to cut it more slack. But, you know, I just point them out. There was something else you guys mentioned. You know, also, you know, I say to talk about more of the positive things of TNA because there's plenty of people talking about the negatives. There's something else I want to say and I cannot remember. I just had it. And what else? Anything else I want to mention? Yeah, I understand not everybody fits the double standard, but I just feel like so many people do. I just see the double standard so rampant. Sure, not every single person is gonna have the double standard, but it's like, man, I just see it so much. I'm like, wow, this is just amazing to see just the rampantness, just the double speak, the double talk. I mean, in this video, you just said Mickie James should have beaten Madison Rayne for the Knockouts title already. And it's like, that's what everybody complains about. Everybody complains that TNA puts the XWD person over the homegrown talent, and now the one time they're not, the one time the TNA person has been repeatedly beating the WWE, the XWD star, you're still complaining? It's just odd. Anyway, I'm already at 15 minutes, so let me go ahead and wrap this video up. Again, I appreciate the response from you guys. We seem to disagree, but hey, that's alright, and you don't have to disagree with everything I say. It's America, that's what it's about. Although I live in Korea, but I am American, so, yeah, same thing. Anyway, this is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.